about it. Let's look at the Eagles offense here. And by the way, the Eagles are 2.5-point favorites. They're installed as a 2.5-point favorites, just to repeat that as of right now.
Well, so it really is. It's really a pick'em game.
Yeah, like really a push. That's the way. Yeah, pretty much a push. Yeah, 2.5. Yeah, somewhere in that neighborhood, which is fine. I mean, look, the Niners have been on a ridiculous tear. The Niners haven't lost since October 23rd. I mean, that's pretty crazy. So Hurts. Now here's the thing with the Hurts. If you're just looking at stats and you didn't watch the game, you'd say he had an okay game. 16 of 24, 154 yards. But if you watch the game, you know he was in total command. In addition to those stats, he had 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. He had a 112.2 passer rating. He also ran one in, which showed you they're not afraid to utilize him in that way. He was in just total command right from the shoot. And again, I love the fact that they went up top on the second play and it was there. A good throw to Devontae Smith, which, it helped set up that first touchdown. But Barrett, they in every aspect, 268 rushing yards on 44 attempts. That's the second most behind 1949 Eagles, who won the championship, by the way.
Yep.
That's the second most they've ever had in franchise history in the postseason. Miles Sanders, really good, man. 17 rushes, 90 yards. That's more than 5 yards per carry. So that element was there. Third down. How about 10 of 14? How about 4 for 5 in the red zone? How about they ran 17 more plays than the Giants ran in that game? It was just all.
How many plays?
There. 17 more.
Wow.
And that's what taking your foot off the brake, too. It could have been a lot more than that.
Right.
But Hurts in the first quarter, Barrett, 7 of 7, 89 yards and a touchdown. That's in the first. He came out dealing in that game.
And we got to give Shane Steichen some praise in this, simply because he ran the offense that kept Wink Martindale's offense. He kept him in the dark about what they were trying to do. See what Wink does. Wink is great at calling defenses when he sees that you can't stop something he's doing.
Yeah.
He takes your strength. And all right, if that's what you feel your strength is, you're gonna be able to stop us with that. I'm gonna stop that, and he'll that's the defense he'll play. He had no answer to anything that the Eagles were trying to call. Mm-hmm. He had no answer whatsoever. He didn't know how to stop them from doing anything. He tried so far as he tried to all right, you guys gonna run the ball. What do we do? The third play, when the second or third, no, was the third, the second play of the game, he goes deep.
Second
to Smitty. Second play of the game, he goes deep to Smitty. Turns back around, he hits Dallas Goedert on a little pop pass, and then he turns around and Debo's
my God.
He just Debo's.
Boom!
Right. You know what I'm saying? It's like he just stiff forms it was like this, like get down. You know what I'm saying? This is big boy football. You don't belong on the same field as us. And it set the tempo throughout the day. That's all they needed to do. From that point on, the heart of that team was gone. It was gone. We totally took the game over after that. Total annihilation. There was nothing they could do. They had no answers from that point on.
Yeah,
no
it was. I just watching that and watching them set the tone right away. Like I think the Eagles. You always want to start a game well. Don't get me wrong. That's obvious. But I also think there was a little bit more involved. Like I think the Eagles wanted to say that. I think they wanted to just show the Giants, number one, you're not going to be in this game. Like just I can promise you this. This is not the same team that you saw the last 3-4 weeks.
Exactly.
Remember the team that took it to you in week 14? That's not even the team that you're going to see. Not the 48-22 team. And they did it on both sides of the ball. Barrett, I don't know about you. Like I'm rarely ever one to say this game's over. No chance. Because I've seen too many weird things happen in sports.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm telling you, man, at halftime, I had no doubt the Eagles were winning that game. Like absolutely no question in my mind. It was that you don't see these kind of games often. This was really rare what we saw.
Bro, I could have had me a couple Budweisers, man. That's how confident I was in this team winning that game. I just knew there was nothing that they could do. No answer. They could have put their threes out there, or we could have put our threes out there, and we'd have still smashed them.
I believe that.
they had no clue on how to stop that Eagles team. The front was amazing. The defensive front was amazing. Offensive front was amazing. I mean, they had their second team offensive line out there, their second team defensive line. I mean, that's how you play a game. That's how you play a game. You start playing your younger guys, getting them a little playoff experience, giving them, a reason to go out there and practice hard because they're gonna give you some reps if we start blowing teams out. And that's exactly what they did. They got the young guys some reps,
It was over at 14-0. 100% this game was over. Andrew's exactly right. The game was over at 14-0.
It was crazy, bro, because they knew they had no answer. This team, they start smelling themselves. And the way they start smelling themselves, they thought that they were going to come in. And that's one of the things that really pissed me off. That they were really thinking that they were going to be able to come in and compete at a high level against this Eagles team. They drank the Kool-Aid on how good they were because they played against a Minnesota team.
That's it.
It's not the same team. It's not the same team at all.
They're different, completely different. That's apples and oranges, this Eagles defense to that Minnesota.
Absolutely.
And on both sides of the ball. By the way, the vaunted Vikings offense is not as good as the Eagles offense.
Well, they didn't have a passing game.
Yes.
They were trying to act like they had a passing, and that's what was pissing me off because they were like, everybody's like, how are we going to stop Daniel Jones from running the ball? Man, forget Daniel Jones. What are we talking about? We're giving them more credit than what they deserve.
Yep.
We got to stop Daniel Jones. He can run. He's been trying to run against us all last year. It's from his rookie year. That's why I start calling him Bambi. He had a 60-something or 50-something yard run and falls and trips over his own feet.
Turf
you don't
monster.
belong on the field with
get
us.
Get up, tackle him.
Exactly.
Hey, by the way, where are our Cowboy losers that are always in the infiltrating the chat?
Bro.
What rock did they crawl under?
Well, I don't even see them on the stream. My fault, stream. I haven't been over to looking at you because I got so much stuff to take off my chest. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, where are all these Dallas? Let me see you. Come on, let me see you.
Yeah, I'm waiting. I'm waiting because if you're gonna get in here and pull your nonsense when you're sniffing yourselves because you beat up on a horrendous embarrassment of a Bucks team.
Right.
Where are you now? Take your medicine. Be a man or a woman, have a pair, and own up to it.
Exactly.
Where are you?
I couldn't stop you guys from talking. In fact, you guys were talking about what you were going to go do against this 49er team. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man.
Yeah.
I sat back. I let you squawk and everything. I let you talk. You know what I'm saying? But hold on. We still – Mr. Niners is still here. He's still here.
He'll get his next week. Yours is coming Sunday, big boy. Yeah. So just wait. Yap all you want. That's okay. Yeah, it's good. I respect the Niners. I do. But respect and the Eagles beating them are two different stories, and we'll get into that. But you're right, Barrett. Let's give Steichen some love for the game plan for getting back to your roots of 44 rushes and just pounding it down their throat. Let's give Sirianni credit because he's in on a lot of this when it comes to the offensive game planning. Obviously, let's give Brian Johnson props for the way that these guys had Hurts ready to roll. And it was all there. Like Devontae played really well. Like it wasn't one of those mind-boggling. It was 6 for 61 and a touchdown. That's a damn good day, right? And you did this without AJ, doing a ton, as I said earlier.
Exactly. Put it like this: Miles Sanders ran amazing in this game, and I know everybody's talking about Kenneth Gainwell and 12 rushes for 112 yards. The reason he was able to do that is because Miles Sanders tenderized that defense before he got it.
That's a great way to put it.
Tenderized that defense. He was punishing that defense, and which allowed those other two to come in and play the way they played.
Yes.
I mean, he was patient in his running style. He saw where the hole was supposed to be at. He influenced blocks to go
and
one way.
He wasn't trying to bounce it. He was just sticking his foot in the ground and going.
And then, he approached the line of scrimmage. He'd wait for his blocks or set his block up. He'd hit it backside if he needed to. He did everything to keep that defense from getting a beat on where he's supposed to go.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they were killing him up front, man. Driving, blocking. I mean, Jason Kelce looked like he was about a 400-pound, 6'7" drive blocker. That's the way he was
rather than a little scrappy dude.
Right. Little scrappy dude. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I was amazed on how good we blocked Lawrence.
Yeah, because I mean, let's face it, Lawrence and Leonard Williams are disruptors, man.
Yes, they are.
They're
yes,
big time players. To do what the
know,
Eagles did to them is truly impressive up front.
That's the strength of their defense. The strength of their defense is in the defensive line. Ojulari, Leonard, Lawrence, and Thibodeau.
Mm-hmm.
That's the strength of their defense. That's why Wink is able to do. Martell's the defense coordinator is able to do the things that he does.
Yeah.
Because those guys up front can handle it.
Yep.
You know, I mean, we knew their linebackers sucked, and they still couldn't compete. Mm-hmm. Smith running around like he's doing something. Smith might have had 12 tackles. Let me see how many tackles Smith had. I mean, because he was acting like he was just
Jalen Smith.
Yeah, he was acting like he was just that dude. Come on, man. He getting up, you know what I'm saying?
You didn't notice. Let me put it to you this way: you didn't notice any of their defenders.
He had 14 tackles. He was running 14 tackles. But out of those 14 tackles, he had
how many were downfield is my question.
That's what I'm saying. They weren't impact tackles.
Yeah.
They were downfield. Like I say, remember I told you what impact tackles are.
Yeah.
Impact tackles are tackles anywhere from 3 yards beyond or before the line of scrimmage.
Right.
They weren't like that. They were tackles where he was hanging on by a thread and he got dragged 5 yards down the field.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We just beat up on that defense, you know what I'm saying? And it started up front. We just moved around. Kelsey is almost like he's doing ninjutsu moves and you know what I'm saying, hip toss.
Did you see the one? He pancaked the guy and then he got up and then he went down the field and he with one arm put another guy down.
Right.
Like, whoa, man. You know, it's crazy, man. I'm just thankful. Like he was limping a little bit for a second, but he looked like he was okay. Lane was kind of feeling it a little bit early, but he was okay. The fact that they all came out of it and Jalen looked fine too. And I think, AJ was a little bit dinged up, it looked like, but they all came out relatively healthy.
We can talk about that too. I think his feelings were hurt more than anything. It's not like he wanted to go out there and play great.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a game for him being great. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't like they didn't call his number. They didn't call his name.
Yeah.
But you really can't bitch and complain about the way the running game was.
Yeah.
You got to take the good with the bad. There will be times for the rest of the season, the next 2 games that we're going to need AJ, and AJ is going to go out there and fulfill, his destiny, be one of the best receivers in the league. But just that game just wasn't that game.
What I like in it too, Barrett. Remember how cranked up we got week 1 against Detroit when Devontae didn't catch a ball? And we're like, oh my God, man, is it with AJ here? Does that mean Devontae's not going to be, impactful and all that? And Sirianni said, look, it's just the way the games go sometimes.
Exactly.
It's just the way it went. Like, I have no doubt AJ Brown will, I'm not going to say bounce back, but be more impactful in the Niners game than he was this past week.
That wasn't even a bounce back game. It's just they were better at another facet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, there were advantages to exploit either in the run game or with Devontae or with Dallas Goedert. Maybe the Giants did everything they could to try and take A.J. Brown out of it. Okay, if you're going to do that, then other guys are going to kill you.
Well, you know what? I like the fact that JB asked this, said, I'm sorry I didn't see it, bro. He says, Barrett, doesn't that bother you about A.J.? That's that he gets a little pissy, all pissy. You know what? I'm going to tell you the truth. It would get at me if I didn't know the fierce competitor that he is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I think that's more of a competitive thing, not necessarily him moping. He's pissed off at himself. He's pissed off that he wasn't able to impact the game like he wanted to. And that's how prima donnas are. That's how receivers are. They got to keep that edge about themselves. They've got to be those that mean if he doesn't catch it, who else needs to catch it?
Right.
Yes, he has, Smitty out there and Dallas Goedert out there, but he wants to be that dude. He wants to be, someone that you could go to at any time. And we can't go to him at any time. And he'll put up, astronomical numbers.
Well, here's what I would tell you to answer JB's question. I think everything you just said, Barrett, is dead on. He's a competitor. He just wants to help his team. The other part is, I talked to a couple people who were in the locker room afterwards, and there was no moping, no anger. He was dancing around with his teammates and celebrating.
Yep.
So in the moment, he wants touches and he wants to help and he wants to be involved, but he didn't put himself above the team afterwards.
No.
When it counted. Like I'll give you an example. You want to go to you can go Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs is yelling at Josh Allen on the sideline.
Right.
Yesterday. Left, tried to leave, like almost dressed and is still in his uniform until one of his teammates pulled him back in and said, dude, don't roll until Coach McDermott addresses us. They had to talk him into staying. You want to say that's selfish, then you get that's selfish. That's not what A.J. Brown did yesterday.
Absolutely. It's not even close. I've been around guys like that. I played, Ricky Waters. If Ricky Waters going to get his touches, Ricky's going to call upstairs. He's on the phone calling up to Chucky. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hey, what's going on, man? Why don't I get I've seen him do that, literally do that. I've seen him both. I'm in a game and I'm literally seeing Ricky Waters grabbing his junk and throwing up the bird at him. But then I look up in the press box, and I see Gruden doing the same thing back to him. The same thing back to him. So then we're going to halftime, and you're on the vet. You had to go out down at the elevator, then you get back, then you walk across and go to the locker room.
Yeah.
And I can remember I looked, and I was walking like Ricky Waters like right behind me.
Right.
But I can see he's right there because I'm talking to Guy Mack because he's right next to me.
Yeah.
And I can see them make eye. He looked to say make eye because he did like this. And when Gruden saw him, Ricky saw him at the same time, and he was walking across the path, to go into the locker room. And I turned, and he took off out. We grabbed Ricky, and Ricky was going to get him. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is at halftime. You know what I'm saying? He's pissed off he didn't get the rock. So, I'm holding him on one side, and Guy Mack is holding him on the other side. You know what I'm saying? So we get in the locker room, and oh, man, it was so MFs and everything else, four-letter words, and it was crazy. You know what I'm saying? But, we understood the competitive nature that Ricky had.
Right.
Ricky wanted to be that guy. He was the same way when it came to Charlie Garner. He didn't want Charlie to get any reps.
Yeah.
Any reps.
And look, do you love that? No. Would you rather he be a little bit more mature about things? Of course. But part of that fire, and I'm excusing that. I'm not excusing it. But part of that fire fuels him to be the great player that he is.
I keep telling people, all the great players, all the great artists, all the great people have something wrong with them, and not necessarily wrong, but they can mentally and physically go past a point that us regular people can't get past.
Yep.
Like they can force their mindset to go past the point of just being average to be great. And mentally, they can go where our minds will tell us to stop, but their minds will tell them to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
And they have that sense about them. Like most gifted artists, they're so unique in how they think that they think past and above and beyond what regular people think or what regular people feel. Or it's something wrong with them. You know what I mean? It's that wrong with them makes them right. You know what I'm saying? Seriously, it makes them right. Yeah. So it's crazy, that these guys can do that stuff. So, AJ just wanted the rock. He wanted that pill. He wanted this playoff system, his player, his playoff game to be a great playoff game. And it was still a great playoff win. He just wanted more of an impact in the win.
Absolutely. So you look at it, Boston Scott, the Giant killer, got yet another touchdown, Barrett. He's got 11 of his 19 career touchdowns against the Giants.
That's insane. Ridiculous.
Insane. It's
ridiculous.
But how about Gainwell goes 12 rushes, 112 yards? Gainwell was the only Eagle running back that went over the 100-yard mark. Who would have thought of that?
Bro, and that last run he had.
What a run.
Unbelievable. Like it was supposed to go, it was a number inside. It was supposed to go inside on the play, but he bent it back. And the way the blocking scheme was, it blocked up that backside wasn't even supposed to be open like that. But they were pursuing so fast, they were pursuing so far over to try to stop him from going front side that he bent it backside. By the time they realized that he had squirted out the backside, it was all over. It was all over by then. You couldn't catch him. And that's one of the things people don't understand how good Gainwell was, even in college. Like guys like what's his name? Both running backs. Hold on, I had that written down. Both the running backs, like the running back from the Commanders. What's his name?
Oh, Robinson.
No, the other one.
Oh,
Antonio
Gibson.
Antonio Gibson. And Dallas's running back,
Pollard and Zeke.
Well, Pollard and Gibson were in college with him at the same time.
Okay.
He started over both of those guys.
Right.
People understand he started over both of those guys. He was the youngest one. He started over them.
Mm-hmm.
So he has that skill set. Man, we got a diamond in the rough there. I hope that's not keeping them from signing back Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders is still a gifted guy, man. Like I said, he tenderized the defense for him.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that doesn't, deter them from signing them back.
I don't think it. Like I don't know if he'll be resigned or not, but I don't think they're going to look at Pollard and they're going to look at Gainwell and Scott and say these guys are ones. I think they know they're really nice complimentary guys.
Right,
I believe that. Like I think they just look at them as, man, we have great depth at this position, like the Eagles do at a lot of positions.
Yes. I would love to have that trio back.
Yeah, but Bears repeating here. Hurts is 15-1 as a starter this year, so that's pretty amazing. And you got him back, and they didn't. He ran the ball. A couple times. He was smart about it. He threw the ball. It didn't look like there was any issues. He didn't look hobbled. He didn't look compromised in any way, shape, or form. So that's a good thing. That is a positive.
He took care of himself, though. You know what I'm saying? Let's also give him some praise. Also that Hurts played his game, but he still protected himself. He wasn't running head first. He slid when he was supposed to slide. I mean, come on, baby. You got to stop, drop, and roll. You know what I'm saying? You got to protect yourself, because I think he finally realized the worth and what's being asked of him, really from a health standpoint. He knows where he goes, this team goes, so he's going to protect himself a little better than past quarterbacks like Vic. Vic couldn't slide to save him life.
Oh, and didn't. Yeah, he couldn't. He just couldn't do it. I don't know. It was weird.
And Wentz couldn't either.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, let's come back and let's do some defense here, because the defense, you give up a 7 spot in the playoffs, you're doing something right. So we'll dig into the defense when we come back here with the Eagles win over the Giants. After that, we will do an Eagles-Niners little matchup. We'll look at the Niners win yesterday. We'll look back at the AFC games. We got a lot to get to, so don't go anywhere. Tell a friend. We will be right back. We are Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network, Barrett and Rob. Let's talk a little Pro Action Restoration. Yes, Pro Action Restoration. You're going to want to take down this number and this website. Okay, just remember, if something bad goes down, hopefully it doesn't, but if you experience the pain and inconvenience of water, fire, smoke, mold damage to a property you own, a building you may own, your house, your business, whatever, they're the people to reach out to. Pro Action Restoration is on call 24 hours, 7 days a week to assist. I personally know this because it happened to me. My parents, older folks at the time, had their basement flooded. They didn't know what to do. They were trying to bail the water out there. I was over there. I called Pro Action Restoration. They got right over on a Saturday. They cleaned it up. They fixed the problem. The price was right. The crew was professional. It couldn't have been a better experience. They are licensed, bonded, fully insured, and they've been serving the tri-state area for more than 2 decades. Pro Action will work in conjunction with your insurance company as well. So it could be any of the above: water, fire, smoke, mold damage, you name it. They can handle it. Give them a call, 610-623-3760, 610-623-3760, or online at proactionrestoration.com. That's proactionrestoration.com.